create for his teammates, make those guys better. And then Ben Gold, I think with elongated minutes, I think he's really going to have a nice season. We all know he can shoot the basketball, but does he have some creativity as a top-of-the-key decision maker? Really excited to see how this Marquette team does here in the first few minutes of this game.
Well, Stony Brook wins the tip, and you get the freshman Colin O'Connor with the basketball, and Stevie Mitchell is on him. How do they defend right out of the chute? Big question. Chase Ross getting his hands all over that basketball, and he forces a turnover.
Chase Ross realizing that they're trying to attack a mismatch with Stony. That's one of the good things about having returning players, right? Like, they know their spots, when to come, when there's a mismatch, when a guy needs a little bit of help. Great job, Chase Ross, on possession numero uno of the season.
Ross, a junior, made 10 starts a year ago. The program is going to work outside in with their offense. There's Gold, dials up a three. In and out, Mitchell, offensive rebound. Ross. Couldn't get the up and under.
Good offensive possession. You get a little peek of what we're going to see this year in Milwaukee. When it comes to Cam Jones coming off ball screens, a little pick and pop for Ben Gold. Excited to see him play this season.
White put it on the deck, turns it over. Back-to-back turnovers forced by this Marquette defense. Mitchell, wide open three. Buried it.
Why not, Stevie Mitchell? Why not? We're going to need him to shoot the ball a little bit better this season. We know what he brings on this end of the floor. But if he's that extra piece that can knock down shots from the perimeter, that floor is going to be wide open for some of the rim attack guys that Marquette has.
Just 27% a year ago. Good touch inside. And Ben White scores the first points of the season for Stony Brook.
Ben White, a transfer from Toledo, has some experience in the CAA.
There's Gold, and he missed the layup from point-blank range. 0 for his first two, but good look. Octave dials up a three, and Stony Brook's out in front.
Good possession by Stony Brook. Ball moves to the corner. Good, better, best guy at the top of the key. Octave, honorable mention CAA guy, able to knock it through.
Team that won 20 games a year ago. Jones up and under. He's got his first points of the season. How about that?
You know what I like to call that, Jeff? Crafty. Splits the defense, little Euro, lefty finish.
Very creative at the rim. Luster out of control, rejected by Joplin. Jones, he's going to find a way to finish, that's for sure. There's Gold, and over his first three, another possession on offense. Kick it out to Mitchell. Now Ross from the corner. That's good.
Offensive rebounds. It's the best time to shoot a three. The defense is converged in, trying to get it out. Stevie Mitchell, who hit his first. Unselfish play. Chase Ross in the corner.
Octave from the top of the key, hit another one.
Octave's ready to play. Holy Cross transfer, spent some time at the Air Force. This team's leader. Two big shots to open this one.
32% three-point shooter last year, Joe Octave at Holy Cross. Southern California kid. Ross, extra pass, and it's on the end line. Joplin turns it over.
How about this? A little split. Get to the cup. Euro. This is a big-time move, Cam Jones. That's what makes him special, attacking the cup. And then extra pass from Stevie Mitchell to Chase Ross, who's improved as a three-point shooter throughout his time at Marquette. We all know what kind of athlete he is. The lefty finish.
Octave again. He's had the hot hand. 3 threes from Octave.
I usually say 2 for $1. How about 3 for $1 for my man Octave?
Stony Brook not going anywhere. Joplin. Full head of steam. Gold taps it out in the second possession. Another offensive rebound. Jones, left hand good. Second time for Cam Jones.
I mean, the wingspan, the shoulders, the footwork, the athleticism. He's got the entire package when it comes to getting buckets.
Such a good three-point shooter, but it's his ability to finish at the rim that separates him.
That's absolutely right. And because you have to pay attention to that three ball all the time, it gives him leverage to get to the rim.
Shot clock winding down. Woodard a rainbow three off the back of the iron. And Stevie Mitchell got the arm. Cam Jones, the wizard at the cup.
He's a bad man. He gets his left hand, you can forget it. Drive left or drive right, spin left. Finger rolls good. Marquette down one.
Downtown Milwaukee, Fiserv Forum. Marquette Golden Eagles 14-2 last year in this building. Have only lost 19 games in here since it opened up in the 2018-2019 season. Shaka Smart in year number 4 at the helm.
Is that good, Jeff?
I think that's okay, right?
Okay. Yeah, just
that's
sure.
okay. Trying to get win number 80 in this building, and for Shaka Smart, in this era where you see players transferring, leaving, coming in, Shaka Smart has built something here where you're not moving on from this program unless you're going to the NBA.
Yeah, and throw in the fact that he's redshirting players still. I mean, it's kind of an old school approach in today's game, but at the same time, with the transfer portal and all these guys coming in and looking for new places, they find a home in Marquette. They understand the culture that Shaka brings and instills in his team. Why would you want to leave when you see the track record of development where guys are turning into draft picks? If you're trying to tell me Tyler Kolek was a draft pick coming out of George Mason before he came over, what, 4 years ago? I'd have called you a liar. And now you see what he's been able to do.
Nice feed inside. Jared Fry with the assist. And Stony Brook is up by 3. See a fresh crop of Marquette Golden Eagles on the floor. Trey Norman, Zayd Lowry, and the freshman Caden Hamilton, who's got it in his hands. Tricky pass. Cam Jones up under again for 2 more.
It's unique to see because Marquette will guard-to-guard ball screen frequently. And a lot of times you just say, well, that's just an easy switch, but depends on who the defender is. As Octave has not been shot.
Heat check. Made his first 3. We came up short there. Now, Octave has been a one-man wrecking crew. And 9 of the 13 for Stony Brook. O'Connor crossover. Fry, good ball fake. 5 on the shot clock. Woodard spinning and a travel.
Good call. They've let them play here in the early going with their hands. Woodard, Gino Ford, you see him in your picture. They made a run all the way to the CAA championship game last year. And he said Nick Woodard this season, they're going to have to rely on him to be big in big moments during conference play for this Seawolves team to have some success throughout the course of January, February, and March, where it's most important.
3 turnovers already for the Seawolves. Jones got the roll.
Plays with such great pace, doesn't he? He dribbles the ball hard and tight, close to his body, and he controls the defender if he's on his hip. And he just has kind of that old man game when he gets inside about 12 to 15 feet.
Just missing some knee braces and maybe some Bengay. He's in good shape. The old YMCA All-Star.
Well, don't worry, it's coming. Just like it comes for us all. Right?
Father Time still undefeated.
That ball needs to get inside quickly, and you can't wait for Caden Hamilton to post up even more. If you see it, you have to see it before that ball gets to you, or you're going to end up with settle opportunities like that one for Cam Jones.
Jones misses his first shot of the season. That was his first 3-ball attempt.
Get our first look at Trey Norman. Good defense. He's got good hands.
Passes up the pass. It's out of bounds, and it's going to go to Stony Brook. So second turnover for Marquette. Trey Norman played some big minutes as a freshman last year. He and Zayd Lowry, the 2 freshmen that got a lot of minutes for Marquette on that very veteran-laden team. And as we talked about as we came on the air, Terrence, same faces but totally new roles.
Yeah, and you're looking for a guy like Trey Norman to go from 2 points a game to 7 or 8. And that's the good part about keeping your same guys. You're looking for incremental development, right? You're not going to get Tyler Kolek's production out of just one guy. It's got to be by committee. And whenever you keep certain guys in the fold, you can get that with 3 or 4 different guys.
Ben White fouled inside the paint.
Misses that one. Then once you get that ball inside, you have to be patient, but you have to finish possessions if you're Marquette. That was something that they struggled with last season, rebounding the basketball. It's got to be by committee, not just point score, but on the glass as well.
Average just under 33 rebounds a game, but that's the rebounding statistic for Shaka Smart is one that he goes, nah, it doesn't really tell you a whole lot. He plays for the deflections, but rebounding can be so critical in tight games, as you just mentioned.
Well, it's huge, and you get a first look at number 35, Caden Hamilton. This is a guy who redshirted last year from the state of California.
Cam Jones went with the right hand this time.
Hey, you don't need offense when you have Cam Jones sometimes. Mr. Fix-It on that end of the floor.
Already in double figures. 10 points for Cam Jones to lead the way.
This ball pressure.
Fry dials up a 3. Short offensive tap in good from Sabri Phillip. Stony Brook's hanging in there. First 8 minutes of this ball game.
Trying to do too much. Let that ball work for you. If you don't get it off your first cut, get rid of the basketball. Good pass.
Hamilton inside, missed the layup. Seen a couple of misses at the rim for Marquette. O'Connor on the drive, got in there too tight, out of bounds, going to stay with Stony Brook. And it will take us to a timeout. Cam Jones, one-man show.
Quick on quick. Make it easy, Cam Jones. That's not terrible. Marquette in a battle.
Gino Ford and the Stony Brook Seawolves up by 1 on the road in Milwaukee. 6 seasons there. There's their school profile, just under 27,000. Their enrollment last year finished with their highest KenPom rating since 2019. Great season for them. They've been, it's a program that Steve Peichel with Rutgers came from Stony Brook prior to Gino Ford coming in. Great baseball school, but basketball is starting to come alive. They're in the CAA now, went to the championship game, and a program that they know who they are.
Yeah, and they made a great run to the championship game. 3 games in 3 days they win over Northeastern, Drexel, and Hofstra, and then they get to Charleston, and Gino tells me they're 1 rebound away. End up losing that game in overtime by 3, but put up an effort to be remembered there on campus. A fun team, but a lot of turnover this season.
8 new players this year, just 1 returning starter. Tough turnaround. Fry can't hit it. Mitchell's got the rebound. Playing with a lot of energy in this building.
Ever since the 16-minute mark, Marquette has really turned it up on the defensive end of the floor.
And a blocking foul. Mitchell's going to go to the line.
Stevie Mitchell's one of my favorite players in college basketball. Just a junkyard dog mentality. Understands he's quick. He can get downhill. A little bit quicker than Jarrett Fry, who wasn't able to get over outside the charge circle.
Stevie Mitchell's just one of those glue guys.
Absolutely. And you need guys like that. Excuse me. It's my first game, too. You need guys like that. If Ryan Kalkbrenner isn't the perennial defensive player in the year in the Big East, Stevie Mitchell needs to be in that conversation for all league, because he is a pest on that end of the floor. He creates extra opportunities with his defense, the ability to create turnovers. Shaka raves about this young man. He reminds me of a guy that Shaka coached at Clemson named Cliff Hammonds. Long wingspan, same size. Cliff is 38 years old and still playing because he still brings all of those intangibles. Shaka raves and raves about this young man.
And Stevie Mitchell just takes the top scoring guard and basically puts him on lockdown.
Call him off night.
A couple of free throws were good for Stevie Mitchell, and a foul. Zayd Lowry with the pressure package. First foul on Lowry, 3rd team foul for Marquette.
If you look at this lineup, 6'4", 6'5" across the board, outside of Royce Parham, who we're getting our first look at, the young freshman, who super switchable now 1 through 4 defensively for Marquette.
Parham right at the top of the key right now, 6'8", 230 out of Pittsburgh. Luster nearly lost it. Ross. Time winding down. 3 to shoot. Luster got to go up with it, and he hit it right at the buzzer.
That's not something you're going to expect from Luster, one of the best shooting players in all of junior college basketball last year. Shot 47% from 3.
Another offensive rebound and a smart move by Chase Ross to pull it out. Gives it to Jones, and he banked it in.
Banks open in Milwaukee on a Monday, I guess. Even late. You got to be kidding me.
He's got the hot hand. 13 points to lead all scorers for Cam Jones. O'Connor put the brakes on. Short on his shot. Another rebound for Ross. 3-on-2. Chase Ross, Euro stepping his way to the 10.
And that bucket is created because Stevie Mitchell runs the lane, because Royce Parham runs the lane. Chase Ross, that's about as easy as it gets.
Stony Brook takes a timeout. Let's go back to the bank shot from Cam Jones.
I love a good bank shot, but again, this is coming off an offensive rebound. I guess that we call those members bounces coming off. You put enough work in, you're rewarded a lot of times. Now, I'm not saying he called bank, but I'm also not saying he didn't. How about the start for Cam Jones? I mean, only 1 assist on the day, 6 of 7 from the field. We know what kind of player he is attacking the rim. Still kind of waiting to figure out how it works within this offense.
It's a great question, because with Tyler Kolek, he's your point guard from a year ago. He ran the offense. Who runs the offense? Who's the point guard? And how does this offense bob and weave? Does it go through Cam Jones? What are those questions for Shaka Smart?
Well, I think the big thing is you're never going to replicate what Kolek did specifically. But what we've seen is Marquette, when they're able to get some of these defensive rebounds, it's not just Cam Jones bringing the ball up the floor. Their versatility 1 through 4 is what makes them different. If Joplin gets a rebound, he can take off. Chase Ross, you saw him attack the cup off a defensive rebound. Stevie Mitchell can do it. So you're able to run a lot of different guys out in transition. A little bit of a panic play by Stony, but O'Connor, the freshman, with the heads-up play.
Flying all over the floor right now. Halfway complete in his first half in Milwaukee. Got a good one. Marquette up by just 4. Octave back on the floor. He's made 3 threes in the game.
He might shoot it from there.
There he goes. Octave. An air ball. He's missed his last 2. Marquette's got the basketball.
Pressing a little bit right now. The defensive intensity for the Golden Eagles has jumped. You have to let that ball continue to work for you, but that possession was doomed from the get-go. Lucky to even get a shot up.
Shaka Smart loves to count the deflections. Shoot for 32 a game. We've got 11 so far. Ross drives. His first poster of the year.
First of many, I'm willing to assume. That man has bounce. You would have popped the lid off of Pfizer Forum. Go ahead and do it, Chase Ross. Look at the intensity, the closeouts. It's so good by Chase Ross. Tough shot. You got to finish a possession, and you can take off and run.
There goes Ross. 3 straight stops for this Marquette defense. Inside. Parham got his hands on it. His first bucket. A 9-0 run for the Golden Eagles.
Look at Shaka in a stance on the far side.
3-ball quiets the crowd for a moment. Andre Snody.
One of the few returners on this team is Andre Snody. He's going to have a good year as well.
Parham, short. Another opportunity, another offensive rebound for Marquette.
But once again, I mean, it's Stevie Mitchell.
Jones left hand, pure touch.
The touch is unbelievable. It just sits on the rim, and you put it up there, you give it a chance. 15 big ones for Cam Jones in game number 1.
Another steal. Parham, big man.
Royce Parham, welcome to college hoops.
Luster's three off the heel. You mentioned it, Terrence. The defense has ratcheted up from Marquette.
Not just the defense, it's the closing out.
Joplin now for three.
That's the kind of play right there that needs to happen with consistency. Because Cam Jones is going to be able to get to the cup. It's his decision-making once he gets there, and that's providing an easy look for Joplin in the corner.
And a whistle. Joplin called for the foul. Takes us to a timeout. How about some jams early, Terrence?
I'm a big jam guy. I heard you are too, but look at this. Parting of the Red Sea. Chase Ross. Yes, sir. And then let's get a freshman in the mix. Royce Parham. Welcome to college hoops.
Preseason All Big East first team. Terrence, you got Ryan Kalkbrenner, the preseason player of the year. Caravan, Hopkins, Kadari Richmond, Eric Dixon, and then Cam Jones right there is in center stage in this one tonight.
Well, he's been terrific so far. We all know that he can shoot the basketball 40% a year ago from three, but getting to the basket is somewhere where he specializes as well because he's gotten bigger and stronger every single year he's been in college, and it's helped his game when attacking the rim because he just plays with the defender. He's able to hold his leverage, and he does a really nice job of it. You saw it against Colin O'Connor right there. As you grow, the game slows down. And for Cam Jones, you can see bits and pieces today of when he's able to do that, manipulate the defense, and then a couple possessions too, drawing the defense and finding some of his teammates. I have the utmost respect for his game as a collegiate athlete. I think he's going to be very much in the mix for an All-American type season.
His touch at the rim, and we've talked about it as well, it just sits on that rim and falls in all the time. It's so soft.
And people say that's an easy shot. It's not an easy shot. I mean, you got to think about all the nonsense going around as well. But how about Marquette right now showing a little 3-2 extended zone. Communication has to be elite whenever you have guys like Jared Fry who can shoot the basketball, and those things can't happen.
That was a great backdoor cut. Chase Ross fouling Woodard. Woodard's going to go to the line. It's an extended 15-5 run for Marquette right now. You got a lot of young players out there that are in different roles. That zone can be tricky.
Well, if nothing else, you do it coming out of a timeout so you can disrupt what's being drawn up on the opposing sideline, right? So you don't want teams comfortable. And now I'm interested to see what Stony Brook does at the point guard position. Colin O'Connor coming out of the game, who's actually teammates with a couple of guys on Marquette. I'm sure we'll get to that a little bit later. But who runs the point position for Stony Brook whenever he's on the bench? Because he's really the only natural lead guard on the roster.
Same could be said for Marquette, too, with Cam Jones on the bench at the moment. Ben Gold back on the floor. There's Joplin hoisting a three, burying it.
But we know Joplin can shoot the ball, right? What we don't know is how Ben Gold can create an advantage for his teammates. And him being able to put the ball on the floor on the perimeter at 6'10", creating that easy look, bodes well for optimistic Marquette fans.
We talked a ton about Tyler Kolek, of course, but also Iguodaro's role on this team last year. He's a guy who could run the point. Tough finger roll from Woodard, no good. Oso's presence on the defensive side. Playing at the elbow. Nice drive and finish from Ross.
How athletic is he? He could line up on Sundays and play wide out.
Yes, he could.
He has that kind of build, 6'4", without even looking at the weight. I'm assuming 205, and can really get off the floor.
Creates a turnover. 3-on-1. Gold going to take it himself and one.
Chase Ross coming up with energy in this game. Little cross, right to left. That's his strong hand. He'll finish that. And then out in transition, Ben Gold. You see his skill, his ability. And it just seemed like he needed to see one go in. I mean, this is a guy, 36.5% from three last season. A lot of it's confidence. Talk to Shaka Smart. Shaka said, "Look, I'm waiting for him to figure out he's as good as I think he is." Right? And what that means is he's pretty subdued, laid-back kind of character. He can be a guy, good timeout by Gino Ford. He can be a guy that you see continue to blossom with the confidence that's going to come with it.
Well, his minutes are going to increase almost tenfold from what he gave Marquette last year. Ben Gold, 37 games, just 2 starts, averaged 5 points a game, but he's not shy in pulling the trigger for three. Most of his shots come from beyond the arc. Well, what's he going to give you in that give-and-go game, right? That was not saying you're going to be Kolek and Iguodala. You don't have to be, but where does that offense get created with a guy like Ben Gold on the floor?
Well, if nothing else, he provides ample floor spacing when defended by opposing five. So that certainly helps, especially when you're playing in a league in the Big East with Ryan Kalkbrenner, Eric Dixon. You got to get to some of those guys out of the paint, right? And, you know, Providence has some bigger players as well. You have to be able to space the floor. So he provides that off the jump. What we don't know about Ben Gold is if he's going to be a decision maker in the half court consistently. And while everybody watching, including myself, Shaka Smart, who sees him every day in practice, we all think he can. Now it's a matter of putting pen to paper and making it happen. If you're that young man, expectations are high for him. It might take him 5 or 6 games to understand the player that he can be. Dead man's corner, can't get the ball there. Seawolf's lucky.
Shot clock already down to 9. Octave had Ross on skates, missed the 3-ball, and here comes St. Lowry, knocked away from Octave at the last moment, got a pinky on it. Octave drives. Poked out back again to Octave. Shot clock did not reset.
This is bananas.
What a possession. Stony still has yet to hit the rim. The ball never hit the rim. Now we try the alley-oop.
What a rim contest by Ben Gold. I mean, did you see? They teach that. The ability to jump straight up in the air and not get the foul call. Terrific help side. It was chaos there for a minute.
And we had basketballs flying from the stands. We were all over the place. A peanut guy was trying to get in on the action. There's a 3. Woodard tapped out by Fry. Another possession for Stony Brook. Now inside. Nice play by Ben White on the flush. Got lost.
Really good pass by Andre Snowdy. Understands defense is scrambling. I'm going to take my time. Shot fake. Everybody comes up. And easy one for Ben White.
Under 4 to play in this first half. Marquette separating a bit. Lowry kicks. Norman 3. In and out. Good look.
Really good look. I think Trey Norman can jump his percentages this year. Has a nice looking shot. Pretty good hands. Did not have a good year shooting the ball last season. I think with more reps that could change. Octave is feeling himself. Some of these shots have been very difficult.
Ross drives, falling down, and a whistle. Ross is going to go to the line. Take a timeout. A lot of slamma-jamma here. A little alley-oop.
It was chaos in the open floor. Throw it up, Trey Norman. That's a dink, not a dunk. We got to do better.
$14-point lead right now for Marquette. 3:20 to go in this first half. Coming up, Jeep halftime report. Go back to Mike Hill and the Big East crew in Los Angeles. Analysis on this one and the other happenings around the Big East. That's all coming up on the Jeep halftime report. Whipping it around the entire conference.
Gotta love it. Big East, how much fun is this league?
It's going to be great. Of course, UConn, back-to-back national championships. They're trying to reload. Creighton still has Kalkbrenner available. Xavier's going to be better.
A few guys, not two guys, but a few guys that you never bet to have 2 bad seasons in a row. I think Sean Miller at Xavier fits that bill.
Yeah.
Reloaded the front court, the back court. He's got a nice mix of returners and guys that they brought in. Ryan Conwell from Indiana State. I've gotten rave reviews out of Cincinnati about him. They're going to be really good.
I saw him last year at Indiana State, played against Michigan State, first time since Bird and Magic. He was fun to watch, man. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Josh Hurt's got it going. Terre Haute.
Yeah. I took Avila with him to St. Louis.
Sure did.
That kid can play too. Rex Specs. It's a good look.
It is
to bring it back.
Big fan of that guy. Went down with an ankle today, though.
Oh.
So it would be out for a little bit. But
that's a bummer. All right, now Marquette had a lot from Cam Jones in this first half. 15 first half points. Jones spinorama.
So strong. That's a grown man against a first-year freshman in Colin O'Connor, and who Colin has done a nice job in today's games, controlling his team offensively, doing some different things, not turning the basketball over. But Cam Jones, a grown man.
He's missed 1 shot. It was his first 3-point attempt of the game. Everything else is in the pad. He's made 1 3. And it was off the glass. We'll give him the first one.
Yeah, bucket's a bucket. Don't be picky.
Inside to Phillip, falling away for 2.
Sabri Phillip, he looks like Zeus out on the floor for Stony Brook. And this is a guy who, every floor he walks on, he's going to be one of the, wow, what a pass.
That was a great skip pass into the corner for Ross. Unbelievable pass through traffic.
So good. Shades of Tyler Kolek right there. Whip pass from one corner to the other. He saw the help side. Right over the top of the head of Sabri Phillips.
Try for 3 in and out.
Marquette trying to figure things out in the half court. You know, this is when you get the ball to Cam Jones and everybody's going to settle in.
Jones nearly lost it on the way up. Down to the 3. Parham. Ton of Golden Eagles battling for that offensive rebound. All right, here's the old whip pass.
Hey, this was a Tyler Kolek special. Look at this. Right corner, left corner. Chase Ross shooting the ball well here in the early going. That's a big-time pass. And here's the thing. You make it at that distance, you better know that the help side's not watching, because there's a lot of airtime on that basketball, but he put it right on the numbers. I mean, that is elite by Cam Jones.
Ross checks out. He's 5 of 6 from the floor with 6 rebounds. Got a dozen points.
It's what I like to call a grab and go guy. You get a defensive rebound, you can just take off with it, make decisions. I feel like Marquette has everybody on the floor except for the 5-man doing that. And I even think Royce Parham, by the time everything's said and done, he's going to be able to do it too.
An offensive foul down low as Caden Hamilton was trying to get position. Second foul on Hamilton.
Chase Ross over on the bike.
He never stops. The motor's always on.
I'm telling you, like it wouldn't shock me at all if he could touch the top of the backcourt. I mean, that him and Zayd Lowry from Marquette, those two guys, I mean, they just look and run and jump and play like they could play on Sundays. Snody's playing pretty well too.
He's got a good body down low, creates some space for himself. Snody's got 5 points.
Nice pass.
Jones again, Parham going to give it back up. Reset, plenty of time on that shot clock. Joplin pulls up for 3. Rebound by Hamilton, moves out of bounds. Stony Brook's got it.
Caden Hamilton, you see him in the picture, an old school big. I mean, big wide body, tries to root out, get position inside. He's a guy that he's kind of a curveball to what Marquette typically does. They don't really have a guy that's going to try to back you in with consistency, but he's got real size on the inside. 6'9", 240 pounds. I think that might be light because a strong-looking young man, redshirted last year to try to grow into his role here, but it's always good to have a curveball.
Definitely added some LBs in the offseason. We talked about the rebounding, and you got to be able to rebound in this league. You lose Oso Iguodala, where the rebound's going to come from. Hamilton's one of those guys.
Small sample size, but Royce Parham, number 13 for Marquette. I mean, this is a guy who is a top 100 recruit coming out of high school. Won a national prep championship this past season at Western Reserve Academy. But you see the versatility of what he's able to do. Real size, can step out, shoot the basketball, make some decisions. You wonder about the new guys? I'm not worried at all.
Shot clock violation, 14.5 seconds to go. Parham was the MVP of that national championship series too. He and Demarius Owens, who's not playing today, teammates on that Western Reserve Academy team with Colin O'Connor.
Both 13s on the floor played together in high school. I always find that stuff pretty neat.
Yeah.
National prep championship, and you know, talked to Shaka about Royce a little bit, and he was like, he just does everything well. And whenever you have guys like that, it just provides ample versatility. Guys with size like that, special.
Parham's dunk was over the top of O'Connor. You're going to get a foul with 7.1 seconds. There's O'Connor, got one more foul to give. See how Shaka Smart sets this last play up before the end of the first half, up by 15. Jones, three. An air ball. Ross tapped, and it's going to stay with Marquette with 2 seconds.
And Cam Jones tenderly looks back at Shaka Smart, if that was okay. But when you're 8 of 9, there's a lot more leeway.
Marquette's going to use the timeout. Got to use it or you lose it anyway, so might as well use it.
Let's get creative right here. Curious to see what Stony Brook does. Don't be surprised if they come out in a 2-3 zone underneath just to try to mix some things up. If you're Marquette and they tend to do that, just run the set that Shaka draws up anyway. They'll work for both. Just going to have to look through your options. Curious to see who he has throwing the ball in baseline out of bounds.
I mean, these are the things you practice right now. You've practiced all offseason, all through the summer, trying to get that cohesiveness with your team. And in a late game situation, what kind of play are you going to dial up? These are the times you work on it. 2
seconds, 2 dribbles. That's what you can get up. I would probably be conservative and say 1 dribble and try to find a shot, but plenty of time. Look for somebody slipping to the basket here.
Have Chase Ross inbounding. Joplin, Parham, Mitchell, and Cam Jones on the floor. Ross just does get it away. Jones for 3 at the horn. How about a 20-burger in the first half for Cam Jones?
Man, they ran the picket fence. Little action to go all the way around, and they closed the door right there at the end of the possession. Cam Jones, big-time shot, running away from the rim. You see him curling into the opposite block, get rid of Stevie Mitchell, close that gate, and the lefty knows what to do. Cam Jones, corner pocket. That's a bad, bad man, and he's got 20 here in this first half. That's just silly.
Asking for more from Cam Jones. 20 points in this first half. Chase Ross had a dozen as well for Marquette. Got a big lead by 8.
From the right corner all the way to the left. Terrific vision, and then Ben Gold at the top of the key. We've seen bits and pieces of what they're capable of.
Royce Parham was very impressive coming off the bench too. He's got the 3rd most shots taken. Gold got fouled on his way up by Octave. Like to see the aggressiveness, though, from Ben Gold.
And I love the play call coming out of the half. Stony Brook, you knew they were going to come out with a different kind of intensity, down 18 points. You used their aggressiveness against them. Terrific play call by Shaka Smart. Quick slip to the basket, getting Ben Gold to the charity stripe.
Marquette 2 of 5 from the foul line in that first half. Gold hits the first.
Straight in.
Ben Gold really talented. I feel like a lot of people, myself included, have been excited to see how he performs with more time on the floor, because obviously you're playing behind a guy in Oso Ighodaro who's one of the better passing big men in college basketball over the last few years. He didn't really have that opportunity. Now he has to play well.
Stevie Mitchell poked it away. Mitchell creating space. Mitchell tap pass to Ross. All Stevie Mitchell.
Stevie the Menace Mitchell. He's all over the place.
Just the body control as he's battling the defender O'Connor, trying to get that basketball. As Octave misses yet again. Should say that was Luster from 3. And White able to finish it off. But the body control from Stevie Mitchell is so impressive. Speaking of which, right on cue.
My goodness, what makes Marquette so difficult to defend is the fact that they play with so much speed early in the clock, and Shaka gives them that freedom. Good pass by Ben White.
Finished off by O'Connor.
But you see, even after a make, that ball is out of the inbounder's hands quickly, and they're allowed to make decisions, and they're given that kind of freedom early in the first 7 to 8 seconds of the shot clock.
Luster transition 3, buried it.
Gino Ford called Luster the best shooter he's ever recruited. It's a guy, top 10 in the country in junior college, and threes made. Wow, what a finish.
And one. There's David Joplin.
I think the most important thing for me, Jeff, is I need to get out of your way, because Marquette, this happens so quickly. Because there's not time wasted. If they see avenues to attack, they have that freedom to go. And whenever you're able to retain players and you have roster continuity, there's a certain trust that comes along with that. And Shaka lets his guys play.
Head on a swivel all the time. That's all it is. We can pick up points whenever we need to. It's fine. It's the beauty of live TV, Terrence.
Notice Marquette, after every free throw or stoppage in play, not necessarily to create turnovers, just takes seconds off the shot clock to where Stony Brook isn't comfortable.
Octave falls away. Made his first 3 shots, has not hit one since. Ross passes up the 3. Ross drives. Ross was 16.
He's been terrific. Nothing short of terrific. Long strides, big time finish, hand on a loose ball, and here come Marquette again.
Stevie Mitchell again. Cam Jones for 3.
Target practice for Cam Jones. I said they don't want to create turnovers. Just kind of happening.
And it's going to stay with Stony Brook. Got a deflection. Shaka Smart was running down to the end of the bench. Make sure you chart it. It was a deflection. Chart it.
EGBs. Energy-giving behaviors. Or energy-generating behaviors.
Staple of this program. The first 3 years of Shaka Smart. And the turnover. Cam Jones going the other way. Joplin. Everything but the shot. He had the Top Gun move. Put on the brakes and let it fly right by.
You want to talk about trial by fire for Colin O'Connor at Stony Brook. Freshman first game. You have to play at Pfizer Forum and go against the Menace Mitchell.
Luster gives it off to White, who's fouled. He'll go to the line.
Half-second late, Cam Jones coming down on the crackback help side. Not able to get there. I thought he got a lot of ball, but nice move. Luster getting in the paint, creating for Ben White. See, getting downhill, it's that crack back. That should be a steal right there by Cam Jones. And that's going to be a point of emphasis, I'm sure. You know, head coaches are never happy.
Yeah.
They kind of have to find ways to make themselves upset. That might be something that you can say to Cam Jones, hey, man, half a second quicker, we have a steal and we can go.
I don't care if you scored 23 points and you're playing great, you've only missed 2 shots. But remember in the paint when an opportunity for a steal, that's where we need to get better.
That's right. Stevie Mitchell checks out of the game. Right? If you're not a fan of Stevie Mitchell, you just don't like college basketball.
Trey Norman's in. Got his RoboCop sleeve on. Jones and Joplin, a 2-man game, and Joplin's foul.
Okay, so there's a big difference right there, and this is a small thing, but you see Cam Jones bring the ball up, seeing Joplin on the other side of the floor. What Cam Jones can realize is when I'm going for a dribble handoff at the top, I need to dribble at the other person's defender to give Joplin a lane to try to attack. He kind of passed it and just went over. You're not creating an opportunity for your teammate there. And that's something that Tyler Kolek, he was a terrific screener, and he wasn't ready. He wasn't scared to be physical in a somewhat of a transition situation. And I say that, and then Cam Jones gets another tip.
4-point paints for him. He's got 25 in this game. His career high is 34. Did it in back-to-back games. 34 points last year. There's a 3 from Luster. Luster's got the hot hand for Stony Brook.
Doesn't need a lot of space.
Gold dials up a 3. Still has yet to hit a 3 ball. Had a foul. It's going to stay with Marquette.
Ben Gold's taking good shots, but he's falling out of his shot. And what I mean by that is when that ball is released out of his hand, he's backing up away, and you're essentially shooting a moving target at that point. Whenever your shoulders come out or fall backwards, that ball's going to go off a little bit flatter. And I think if he's able to stay in that shot and keep his shoulder positioning good, it'll have a little bit more arc. He's going to find more success.
There's only one MJ who can make that fall-away shot, or Kobe.
Well, there's a lot of guys who could do it, but I think, you know, shooting it from 3, I mean, you're making a really catch and shoot. What a pass.
Late pass. Chase Ross missed the layup. Got a foul.
Late call.
It'll take us to a timeout. Marquette comfortably in front, up by 23. Speaking of MJ. College basketball opening night. Marquette's up 64-41. Cam Jones with 25. Chase Ross with a new career high. 16 points and 6 rebounds. He's only missed 1 shot so far. A young Golden Eagle fan in attendance tonight.
Raising them right.
Good team to root for. This place is getting loud. Students were in here as soon as they opened up the gates. For Chase Ross, you see that new career high. His previous high was 13. Did that last year against DePaul. I mean, of all of the people that we have talked about, I think his star has shown the brightest thus far.
Guys who work hard in the offseason are always rewarded in games 1 through 5. And I think Chase Ross, you know, there's going to be a change come because he hasn't always been this featured guy on the scouting report for opposing defenses. You have 2 or 3 games like this, things will switch up in a hurry. But you look at what all he's done so far, 2 of 2 from 3. He's attacked the rim. He's made good decisions with the basketball. He's hounded the basketball defensively.
Yeah, that is where he makes his money, is on the defensive end. He is pesky, to say the least. Mark closed there. Short on the shot was Fry. Ross with the rebound, his 7th. There's Ross for 3. Just short. Gold taps it out to Cam Jones and a fresh 20. Oh! Joplin underneath.
Terrific finish by Joplin. Even better pass by Cam Jones. Extra opportunities leading to easy buckets.
11 offensive rebounds for Marquette tonight.
If that's somewhere they can thrive, they're going to be a handful because they have guys who can knock down shots.
Luster from the corner, short. Great on that end of the floor as well, on that defensive side. Norman pulls it back out. Norman on the take. Letting him play. Stony. Oh, look at Ross coming out of nowhere. You said earlier he might touch the back of the backboard all the way on the top. He almost did, flying through.
He almost hit his head on the rim. Look at this display of athleticism. He almost killed David Joplin. My goodness. Look at the elevation.
If Joplin doesn't get hit with the shoulder of Stony and go back, Ross flies over the top of David Joplin.
No question. Coming out party for Chase Ross, huh?
That was fun. That was fun. I know everybody's talking about the NFL and the play that Saquon Barkley had yesterday.
That was silly. Unbelievable.
Spin move and then jumping backwards over somebody. That jump by Chase Ross was unreal. Full head of steam too, and no shoulder pads and helmet, but still pretty cool.
Yeah, really a special athlete.
25-point lead for Marquette. Lowry for three. Offensive rebound, Hamilton. Bell go to the line. Caden Hamilton looking for his first collegiate points.
Look at the relentless. There's not much you can do. And Nick Woodard's not a small guy. My goodness, Caden Hamilton. Only a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, Woodard had a fistful of jersey too, and Hamilton's still able to come away with it.
Oh, excuse me, 250 listed.
Well, he gained some weight in the offseason.
Hey, what? That's a grown man.
Just a freshman out of wine country in Santa Barbara, Santa Maria. Great barbecue. Sneaky barbecue spot. Outstanding tri-tip in Santa Maria.
Noted.
Next time you're there. Almost came up with a steal. Parham. Now he's got to hustle back.
I love how quick Marquette can just fix problems, though. I'm not sure about that. We've been letting a lot go. Caden Hamilton not sliding his feet. But you have a guy that goes for a steal on Royce Parham, gets back into play, and they hold down the fort while he's gone. And you have to zone up that backside away from the ball in order for that to happen. That's just the continuity. I mean, we keep going back to it in a day and age where transfers this, transfers that, NIL this. Marquette just hangs on to their same guys.
Deep three by Fry. And Hamilton over the top. Pick him up for his fourth.
I don't think Hamilton.
Oh, it was seven. It was Lowry, excuse me.
I don't think. Still, I mean, it must have been after the play. I don't think Hamilton realizes how strong he is. I mean, you'll see him come in late here. Those are bowling pins. I mean, he's still kind of learning his new 250-pound body, right?
Oh, I think Lowry just got lost in the shuffle there and picked up the foul. He was underneath thinking, what did I do?
You know, we see Chase Ross and how he's expanded his game tonight. I think the next guy in line to do the same thing, good shot by Jared Fry, is Zay Lowry. I mean, same type of build, same somewhat skill set. But you see that extra year of work for Chase Ross and how it's paid off.
Got that trajectory going as Norman missed the shot. Lowry got the rebound, but a foul. And that was on Lowry. That is his third.
You see it when the younger players come in, much more willing to engage the opponents with their hands, right? Like Stevie Mitchell he's a wrecking ball, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like, he goes in with his shoulder, with his hands out. Same with Cam Jones, same with Ben Gold. The older guys kind of understand those things. It takes a second or two for these younger guys to learn how to play without their hands.
Get away with that at the high school level,
100%.
Tough shot inside, wouldn't go. Hamilton slap at the backboard. Thing's still shaking. Mitchell for three. Back the other way, pushing the tempo. Phillip, short. Strong rebound by White.
Ben White was a really good player at William & Mary a couple of years ago. Had an injury at Toledo last season and kind of fell out of the rotation there, but Coach Gino Ford said he really thinks White's going to have a good season.
Caden Hamilton able to finish off that shot. Hamilton's first field goal in college. Tipped away by Parham. And that'll take us to a timeout. Marquette, let the kids play.
We don't want to get in trade baskets mode. Okay, number 3, 6, 0, and 0. Those are the guys, okay? They're looking to get their games off. Gotta have a high early down hand on them. Good job getting a deflection.
Deflections are the name of the game. 32 a game. They were sitting on 26 at that last break, but they don't want to get in a situation where they're going back and forth with Stony Brook.
Well, whenever you have that second unit in, the defensive concentration, especially when you're up X amount of points like they are, it can wane a little bit. And that's the emphasis. You want a complete game for the full 40. Doesn't matter who you're playing. On the defensive end, you have to know that when it gets to this point in the game, there's going to be guys looking for their own stuff a little bit. And that's what Shaka's emphasizing more than anything. You better be on your P's and Q's because they do have guys that can score.
O'Connor with a good drive and finishing with the left hand. Joplin on the move. Joplin with a layup. He's in double figures.
No home run trots against Marquette. If you make a bucket, great. You better get back on defense and communicate.
They go faster on makes on the other end. Woodard, an air ball.
Woodard doesn't shoot a bad ball. It just seems like he's super rushed right now. And I think the pace of play today has been a little bit of a rude awakening for him coming from the junior college ranks.
Cam Jones, so saucy.
Little scoop, little score. I'm a fan. Big time move. You said career highs 34 in the break. Is that what you said?
Yep, 34. He's at 27 right now. He still only missed 2 shots. Both 3-ball attempts and a turnover again. Parham running the floor with Mitchell. Mitchell running into a couple of Seawolves. Between the legs gets it to Joplin. Jones, deep 3. Got it. He's got 30. He's sniffing it.
It's very possible he could lead the Big East in scoring and be really close to leading the country in scoring. He is that special of an offensive talent.
Average better than 17 a game last year. Jones.
I love that.
Great kick to goal. Passed up the shot, went for the assist. That's a deep 3 by Fry. You love the fact that he passed up that shot, tried to get it to his teammate.
Played off 2 feet, understood where the help side was. Don't love that shot. Understood where the help side was and then made his teammate better. You have 30. You can make the game easy.
But that's what they're looking for from Cam Jones. They're looking for him to be more of a facilitator. If he's playing the one position, kind of a hybrid one, he's got to create.
But you gotta let your man be who he is, and what he is a bucket.
Pulls down a rebound.
He's got that look in his eye. This ball's going up.
There he goes, Jones, left hand. I mean, parting of the Red Sea of Seawolves.
He saw the angle. Stony Brook was tired, and he took advantage.
Sitting on 32 points, he's 2 away from matching a career high. Marquette is cruising. Terrence, on that last possession, you said Cam had that look in his eye.
You could tell he was just surveying the floor from the time he got that defensive rebound. This is a long three. That's NBA range right there. That was for 30. And then you saw him a couple possessions later. He grabbed the defensive rebound, and you could see right there he's surveying the floor. He sees the middle open. And when guys get tired defensively, they gravitate to the man they're guarding, and they don't get in proper position. He noticed that was happening whenever he hit the Al McGuire mark on the court and understood, I mean, I can take advantage of a tired defense right now because they are really out of sorts. What a way to open the season for Cam Jones. 14 of 16, are you kidding me?
The only misses are from the three-point stripe. Missed his first attempt from 3 and one other. Marquette fans are jumping around. That's usually saved for the middle of the state in Madison, but I think equal opportunity in the great state of Wisconsin to jump around.
You gotta love it. This man is tearing the house down himself.
But he is a local legend. Always jumping around.
Hey, the fan support at Marquette, elite at every level. And it obviously, you know, with Fox, you get a lot of Big East games. Big East venues are elite because basketball is what it's about. How about Stevie, the Menace Mitchell? He's back in business.
Lowry lays it in. There's no quit.
He's all over the place, isn't he?
He's so fun to watch. That motor never stops on the defensive end of the floor. Very unselfish player. And he has locked down O'Connor tonight. Welcome to college basketball, Colin. White got slapped by Ben Gold. He'll go to the line.
Good Stevie Mitchell right here. In the passing lanes. The dude's on the floor more than he's on his feet, but then he ignites a break. Nice pass. Zay Lowry. Easy finish. But it's all created by Stevie the Menace Mitchell.
Sounds like you got a T-shirt coming for him.
Well, he's got a T-shirt coming for him. I'm not taking that man's NIL opportunities.
Just let him borrow the Menace.
How about the fact that he's a finance and information systems double major? I can't spell those majors.
He's in finance. He's already got his own T-shirt company to get those out there to the people.
You know, I had a chance to talk to his high school coach at shoot-around. He said, you know, he used to be an offensive guy. Scored a lot of points, got to the free throw line. Ever since he's gotten to Marquette, he's just done whatever he could to get a role on the team and be able to be on the floor. And he's completely bought into what Shaka Smart's preaching over there.
The tie-up is going to go the other way. Woodard checks in for White. Marquette needs somebody to inbound this ball game, in this basketball, I should say.
Pressure is a lifestyle at Marquette. You're up more than 30 points, and you're picking up.
Yeah, there's no quit. Cam Jones about ready to check back into this ball game. 2 points short of his career high. And creative contact. Takes us to a timeout under 8 minutes to play, Milwaukee. right, Terrence, let's take a look at the Big East coaches preseason poll. Got UConn at the top and get back-to-back national championships, and you kind of hang around on that #1 spot for a little while. Then it gets a bit muddled. Creighton's got Kalkbrenner coming back. Xavier's going to be better. Marquette's in that #4 spot. This, I feel, from 2 to 9 could go any direction.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see that there's a lot of great storylines. How does year 2 Pitino go? Because traditionally it's gone great. In St. John's, if they're on the same trajectory, it's going to be an awesome year on that side of town in New York City. And like Providence has some pieces. Wesley Cardette transfers over from Chicago State, former top 80 kid. He goes there. Jabri Abdul-Rahim also transfers to Providence. It's going to be a fun group to watch. Escaped with one tonight, but it's going to be a fun group to watch. And then I'm so curious to see how the development goes at Georgetown and Ed Cooley. And he brought Malik Mack over from Harvard, who was spectacular last year. But 7 out of his 13 scholarship players are freshmen. And if there's one thing we've learned over the past 100 years, like, freshmen don't win a lot of games. But there's a lot of talent in that freshman class.
And then Cooley knows how to develop those kids, too. He did it at Providence for a long time. And Chris Holtman's in year #1 at DePaul. How are they? They're in overtime right now, by the way. O'Connor, the chance for an and-1. There's a lot of big question marks. Seton Hall, they're going to be what they're going to be. Kadari Richmond's now at St. John's, and there's a lot of moving pieces. Butler's going to be better with Thad Matta, too.
Thunder and Lightning at St. John's with Davon Smith and Kadari Richmond. Those guys are going to be really, really fun to watch. We also have a young man named Simeon Wiltshire, who's a top 20 kid in this class. And I'm going to be honest, I'm shocked that he hung around, and I'm glad he did, because I think by the time he's done playing for Rick Pitino, he's going to be a special player.
Ross already a career high tonight. Get it down low. Hamilton got hammered down there. Ross puts it on the deck. Chase Ross with the left hand. Good.
Mature play from Caden Hamilton. Gets hammered, doesn't lose his composure. He's a freshman, but he's got grown man strength.
That's going to help this Marquette team, a team that doesn't traditionally have a lot of size. Good move by Luster to get by Joplin. Almost a chase down. Forced Luster to miss. Now Joplin on the other end. Off the knee of Luster, and here come the Seawolves. Octave. Octave hits the bucket. Chance for an and-1. Octave his first basket since he made his first 3 of the night.
Whenever you watch Joe Octave play on film, he's never in a rush. Now, I think the game got ahead of him today, truth be told, but he's never in a rush. Plays a little bit straight up for my taste, but at the same time, he's always observing the floor. I think he's going to have a really good season at Stony Brook. Gotten off to a bit of a rough start here, but I mean, he was an honorable mention guy in the CAA in the preseason. Had a really nice season last year at Holy Cross. We'll see how this team continues to grow and adapt.
Parham checks into the ball game for Marquette, replacing Caden Hamilton. Ross, another drive. That's a soft touch. Where do you think he picked that up? Maybe Cam Jones?
They must work out together. I've been impressed with Chase Ross's patience, too. I mean, he's 9 of 11 from the field. And sometimes guys, whenever they have that kind of night, there tends to be 1 or 2 that gets forced up there really quick. And that has not been the case with him so far.
Almost forced to steal there. And Chase Ross, 21 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He's been all over the place.
Jack of all trades. And those assists, they're happening in transition. But, you know, out-rebounding this Stony Brook team 38-25 so far. I mean, you hate to point to just one thing because obviously basketball's fluid, but if this Marquette team can finish possessions and rebound the basketball, they're really tough to defend in transition.
13 offensive rebounds for Marquette, too, so the second chance points are up there. We've seen a really complete team. As you see Cam Jones on the bench. He's 2 points away from a career high. I don't think that he comes back into this ball game. 5.5 minutes and change to go. Ross drives. Oh! He was looking for another jam with that left hand, but he was fouled. Saw him do that on the other side of the floor earlier in the ball game.
Now, if I'm guarding Chase Ross, I'm probably going under this screen right here. You get caught behind, and my word, tried to take the rim off. He's been impressive.
Not the only thing that he has done that you could put a blemish on his free throw shooting. He's 2 of 5 now.
Just leaving points on the floor.
That's perfect on that trip, and Zay Lowry will check in for Chase Ross. You know, Jones, the combination of Jones and Ross have outscored Stony Brook tonight, 55-54. And you're not going to get 23 out of Chase Ross every night. Happy with 10, maybe 12.
Yep. I mean, the thing was, we were kind of looking for Ben Gold, or at least I was, to kind of fill the shoes and taking on a bigger role. And he's been fine. He just hasn't hit shots today. I thought Chase Ross would be an excellent extra piece. Yep. Today, it's been a different story with this defense.
With the shot clock winding down, and O'Connor's going to run it down. Fresh 20 for Stony Brook. That's the two lefties. Jones and Ross, the law firm. Corner three. And out to Norman. Numbers for Marquette.
Oh, Lord.
And Rainbow ended up working out okay now. The dunk in transition by Stony. Rare turnover from Marquette tonight.
Haven't had many. I mean, only 7 on the night, but can't let that ball fly. How about the patience?
And one from Joplin.
I mean, the 1-2 step, staying on 1 foot and finishing up high. That's a big-time shot by Joplin. He's been aggressive, getting down with his left hand. 1-2, pause, stays on 1 foot. That's not a travel, folks. That's good basketball. 1-2. Might have gotten away with a little bit of a hop.
A slight twist of that foot. No big deal. Those ballet classes in the offseason really paid off for David Joplin. I don't know if he did that or not, but it looked like a smooth move. And Joplin, a former 6th man of the year in the Big East a couple of years ago. They expected him to have a really big breakout season last year as a junior. Averaged just under 11 points a game. This kid can shoot it. He's a local guy too. Brookfield Central High School, about 15 minutes away from downtown Milwaukee.
What you really need him to do is guard opposing fours, help on the glass, and knock down shots. I mean, that's where he specializes. Sometimes, love shot, but at the same time, sometimes he can get in the habit of trying to do a little bit too much. He gets himself into trouble.
Takes us to a timeout. 3:47 to go in Milwaukee. Marquette looking for 100. .56 for number 18 Marquette. 3:47 to go, and time to throw it back a little bit. This is the Western Reserve Academy, national champs last year, and we've got 3 guys on the floor, 2 for Marquette and 1 for Stony Brook.
That's exactly right. Demarius Owens right there holding the gold ball, if you will, winning a national prep championship, and number 22 Royce Parham. But you also see a guy a couple of spots left of the basketball, Colin O'Connor. All these guys played on the same high school team, or excuse me, prep team, and this is them winning the national prep championship. And I always find it really cool when these guys are able to reconvene on the floor against each other. And now, obviously, Royce Parham getting the upper hand, but the other guy we've talked about, or we haven't talked about, Demarius Owens. This is a guy that Marquette's staff is extremely high on, and it's always encouraging when you have an outcome like this and you still got guys on the bench getting ready to play. Not only him, but Sean Jones as well. So
Jones coming back from that torn ACL that he suffered last year. Woodard hoisting a three off the mark. And Lowry and company. Seeing Jack Anderson on the floor for the first time. Division III transfer from Keystone College. Lowry drives, hands, and hits.
There's his athleticism. I feel like we've talked about Chase Ross all day. Zay Lowry has that ability as well.
On that same trajectory, just a year behind Ross. Fry, nice step off to Woodard, but couldn't hit the layup.
And they've had probably 7 or 8 of those.
And it feels like the rim's got a lid on it at times for Stony Brook tonight. Anderson makes a cut. Anderson had a block, trying to tip it away and keep it alive, but it's out of bounds to Stony Brook. Great to see a kid like Jack Anderson on the floor. Had a career-high 49 points a couple of years ago. Can really shoot it. 40% from three-point range last year for Keystone. As a former Division III athlete myself, it's always fun to see deep.
Well, you love plugging those guys. First team All-United East selection. Different ballgame here.
Yes, it is. As Fry hits the deuce. This Marquette team, we've seen it a lot with other Big East teams. Load up their non-conference schedule. Marquette's non-conference schedule is a bear.
Well, this is when, you know, we talk January, February, quad 1, quad 2 wins, losses, all those. Your resume for those quadrants is made in November and December. Your cake is baked by New Year. Because, you know, you look at different conferences. You know, Georgetown struggled last year. And then if you don't beat Georgetown by X amount of points, it hurts you. And I'll be honest, I think it's a poor way to evaluate with this net ranking system. I think you need to find something else, something a little bit different, because you're having to beat really bad teams by 100. And then if a team in your league struggles, you know, Georgetown in the Big East, Louisville last year in the ACC, it hurts your league if you don't beat them by 50 points. Well, those teams get better throughout the course of the year. So they're not easy wins, and it really hurts you long term.
And speaking of that schedule, upcoming at George Mason, then Central Michigan here at home, but you go to Maryland, have to play a Big Ten team. You go and play against Purdue, the national runner-up from a year ago. It's number 14 in the country. Go to the Bahamas and play against Georgia. Oh, by the way, going to play Wisconsin in the battle for Wisconsin, too. That's always a very charged-up rivalry.
And Georgia's an underrated team this year. Have a young man named Asa Newell. Will be a lottery pick next year. Really talented. I'm curious, as I'm sure you are, about Purdue and how Fletcher Lawyer does without Zach Edey, creating all that space for what they do. Another tough game, Maryland. I like the roster that they've put together. Of course, you bring back Julian Reese and some of those guys, but Jacoby Gillespie coming from Belmont, Selton Miguel from South Florida, Rodney Rice, who I was a big fan of at Virginia Tech. They have talent too. And when you load up your non-conference, it doesn't hurt you to play these teams, win or loss.
Always a fun opportunity to see the scout team guys get on the floor for Marquette. All loaded with them right now. A shot and a chance to go to the free throw line for Cameron Brown. A senior from Plano, Texas. I mean, you've been a part of these before, Terrence. When these guys get an opportunity to play, the guys that are the starters, the second teamers, they get more excited to see these players score points than they score themselves.
Well, they see what these guys do every day in practice. And a guy like Cam Brown, the guys gravitate to. They understand that he goes through it every single day. He's another guy who's a double major on top of being a walk-on on this basketball team. Like, it's the time commitment that these guys are willing to put in when I mean, I'm sure they go to parties and say I'm on the Marquette basketball team.
Yeah,
but
you are.
But you don't necessarily get all the roses of some of the rest of the guys. And they're doing it for the greater good of the team. And that's why guys are so appreciative whenever they're able to see them score a little bit.
Making them better. Shot no good by Nyarko. Three ball. And air ball. Jake Ciardo from Germantown, Wisconsin, and Germantown High School right up the road. Deep three from Fry, no good. Let this one wind down. Pretty impressive from Marquette. 102 points tonight. Going to beat Stony Brook by 50. Cam Jones 2 points away from a career high. Chase Ross with 23. That was a career high for him. They did everything right tonight, Terrence.
They certainly did. And a complete team effort. The ball popped around the perimeter. They were able to find shots in transition.